Human history is brimming with creepy tales of abandoned and lost civilizations that still haunt us, and even some of the most ardent skeptics would be hard-pressed to explain away some of these bizarre phenomena. From ghosts to mass disappearances to legends of celestial rage, here are a few stories of human disappearance that are sure to send some shivers down your spine. Roanoke Colony. There have been many civilizations to vanish without a trace throughout history, but the story of the lost colony of Roanoke is definitely one of the strangest. The American settlement in what is now North Carolina was home to about 100 people in 1587 when Governor John White took off to England in search of supplies. White's return was delayed due to both harsh travel conditions and the Anglo-Spanish War, so when he finally did reach his former homestead in 1590, he was surprised to find the entire place had been emptied with no sign of struggle. Only a wood carving with the word Croatoan offered any clue as to where they'd gone. White thought the missing people, which included his daughter and baby granddaughter, may have relocated to the Croatoan island as it was just 50 miles away. However, weather conditions prevented him from searching for them, and a later search revealed none of them were there. White returned to England, never knowing the fate of his family. Some theorists believe they may have been absorbed into a local Native American tribe called the Croatans, and later archaeological findings at Hatteras Island supported that assumption. However, their survival is still not known for certain and remains such a mystery that it inspired an entire season of American Horror Story.
Ungrateful wretches.
Nan Madol. The spiritual city of Nan Madol in Micronesia is the only ancient civilization built entirely on coral reefs. The site's construction, which consists of giant stones, is such a mystery that archaeologists have yet to explain how settlers managed to lug such giant materials across the sea to build it. In fact, efforts to recreate a raft of the sizable basalt logs with which it was made have sunk, literally. Local legends say that a pair of sorcerer brothers used magic to fly the pillars in and create their new ritual hub. Even today, the neighboring community which owns the long-deserted area, the Pohnpains, considers it sacred and says spirits are the only present rulers of the abandoned island. According to them, any brave nighttime explorers will either perish or go insane. Helike. Poseidon's wrath has been attributed to many disasters in ancient lore.
How is it that we've become so vulnerable to these nothings?
But none were quite as devastating as the 373 BC demolishment of Helike, Greece. The city's population was completely wiped out by an earthquake and tsunami that submerged the entire place shortly after immense columns of flame supposedly appeared in the city. The ancients attributed the catastrophic destruction to the Greek god's rage over the Helike people refusing to give their statue of Poseidon to Ionians in Asia. That very same statue, the philosopher Eratosthenes would later write, was spotted standing under the sea and created a hazard for fishermen using nets in the area. Helike's horrifying history may have even inspired Plato's story of the lost city of Atlantis, which suffered a similar fate in his account.
They sent a great cataclysm and banished us here. All I can remember is the sky going dark and people shouting and running.
The lost city of Helike was the stuff of legend for ages, until it was ultimately rediscovered by archaeologists in 2001. Bhangarh. Said to be India's most haunted place, the empty city of Bhangarh is not officially open to nighttime visitation because, as legend has it, anyone who stays the night in the abandoned city will not make it through to morning. That may sound like some plot of an eerie horror flick, but for locals, the ghosts that torment the place are very real. According to one piece of lore, the village, built in 1573 and eventually abandoned in 1783, was cursed by a holy man whose view was obstructed by the height of the city's palace, which he'd warned its constructors not to do. Others believe it was a love-struck wizard who condemned the city after his plot to cast a love spell on its princess was foiled. In either case, extreme paranormal activity, from the sound of phantom screams to strange smells, has been reported at the site, and people remain wary of testing out that suggestion that nobody go exploring after sunset. Maya. The disappearance of the sophisticated Mayan civilization is one of the world's most vexing mysteries, so explorers are constantly searching for clues as to what exactly happened. In the process of discovering details about the Mayans' lives, there have been some creepy findings about their demises too. In 2014, explorers entered a fabled Mexican sinkhole, after asking permission from the gods, of course, and discovered a vat of human remains. Scientists posited that perhaps they were 8th century plague victims who were thrown down here, but local legend would have it that they were grabbed by the horse-headed serpent that villagers still fear. It's not the only site that's said to be riddled with otherworldly activity. The Zunantanich ruins in Belize are also believed to be haunted by a stone woman in a white dress with glowing red eyes. The name of the location itself is a Mayan translation of the words stone woman, so you know they take their haunting seriously. In 2016, a tomb containing human remains was discovered within the structure, but it was of a man's body. Even so, locals believe the female spirit that's been sighted there may have been a woman sacrificed at its ancient altar. The reason she's always seen descending the stairs is she would have been sacrificed at the top of the temple. Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.